Welcome everybody to Igor's Japanese Language Dojo, the BLITZ Series, in which I cover a single unit of Japanese grammar in record time. Today I will be showing you how to express habits by using the construct yo ni suru. So without further ado, let's get cracking and see what this construct is all about. Alright, so what do we need to know about the yo ni suru construct in order to use it effectively and correctly in our Japanese sentences? Well, we must know that the construct yo ni suru is attached only to the plain forms of verbs and to the plain negative forms of verbs. After that, we must know that it is equivalent to the English try one's best to do something, try to do something as much as possible, and to make sure that something is done. And the keywords here are the effort and the continuous nature of that action, because here we are expressing a habit, not a decision that will occur maybe once or twice, but never more. We are expressing here a habit, and the word habit is often synonymous with this construct. Also, we need to know something that will act as a basic definition of the yo ni suru construct, and it goes as follows. The yo ni suru construct expresses an action that the speaker is doing of his or her own volition for some purpose, and that is precisely why it is synonymous with habits, especially if we use it in its continuous form, youni shiteiru. And also, another important thing that you really need to remember when you are using this construct is that if you are expressing an action that is not a habitual one, but it is closer to being a decision that will happen maybe only once or twice, then you should use koto ni suru instead. So these 4 points are the basic framework that you need to know in order to use yo ni suru effectively and with confidence, and that is why I recommend you to remember all of these 4 points, because they are really the bare bones stuff that you need to know in order to use it properly. So with this out of the way, we will be moving to our examples. Now, let's see the usage of yo ni suru in our example sentences. Our first example is the simplest one. 毎日技術に関する本を読むようにしています。I try to read books about technology every day. You can already notice here that I have used the continuous form of this construct to illustrate that a certain action has become a habit and that it is happening currently. And this is the most important thing that you need to remember about using the construct yo ni suru in its continuous form. So, when you want to say that a certain action is already happening, that a certain habit has been already established, then you should always use the continuous form. However, if the opposite is the case and the action is still pending, it is still waiting to be executed, then you should use the plain form, as you can see illustrated in our second sentence. 立派な漫画家になれるように、明日から動物をもっと正確に描くようにします。From tomorrow, I will try to draw animals more accurately in order to become a good manga artist. And these 2 sentences are illustrating the most important thing that you need to remember about this construct. So when you say that a certain habit is already happening, that is already underway, then you should always use the continuous form. However, if you are saying that still a certain action is waiting to be executed and that it is not underway currently, then you should use its plain form like we have used here in our second sentence. Now, our third sentence here is once again using the continuous form like our first, and it goes as follows. 両親を失望させないために毎日できるだけ勉強するようにしています。I am trying to study every day as much as possible in order not to disappoint my parents. As you can see here, this action is already underway and it is happening. We are saying here, or to be more precise here, the speaker is saying that he is already studying every day in order not to disappoint his parents. So that is why we are using the continuous form here. However, our fourth sentence is showing the usage of the plain form. 今日は電車に遅れたので、明日からもっと早く起きるようにします。 Since I was late for the train today, I will try to get up earlier from tomorrow. As you can see here, the plain form is used because this action is not currently happening. It will start to happen tomorrow. So that is why you should always remember that the most important difference here when referencing time is to know whether the action that you are expressing is already happening or is it waiting to happen. So if it is already happening, then you should use the continuous form, as you can see in our first and third sentence. Or if you are waiting for it to happen, it has a certain trigger, so to speak, then you should use the plain form of this construct, as you can see here in our second and fourth sentence. So that's pretty much it for this section. Now let's deal the finishing blow to our lesson today and cover it once again in the Cliff Notes version, in the basic bullet points version. So we have learned that the construct youni suru is roughly equivalent to the English to try to do something or to make sure to do something, expressing an action that requires a certain amount of effort from the speaker, and that action has a lengthy time frame. It is happening over an extended period of time. It has become a habit. And that is why our second point is reinforcing this claim, and that the youni suru construct is often found with expressions of habitual actions, when you need to express that a certain action has become a habit. After that, another very important point to consider and keep in mind when using this construct is to know the difference between youni suru and youni shiteiru, because youni suru is its base form, so to speak, and it indicates that the action has not been started yet, while youni shiteiru is expressing an action that is already underway, or to be more precise, that is already happening, as we have seen in our examples in the previous section. And finally, the youni suru construct is always attached to the plain verb forms or the dictionary form, and to the negative forms or the nai form. As you can see here, it is very easy to use and to attach this construct to your verbs, and it can provide you with a useful set of expressions, and really it can help you a lot. This construct is very frequent in modern Japanese, so it will boost your Japanese game considerably. Otsukare-sama deshita, my dear Shokun, and thank you for watching this short video in my BLITZ series that is covering a construct that you can find almost everywhere, youni suru. I hope that you have learned something from this video, and also I hope to see you again next time in the dojo. Sayonara!